The emergency beacon pierced through the quantum foam like a scream through silence. Dr. Lisa Chen felt it before the ship's sensors registered it, a distortion in spacetime that made her neural implant ache with phantom pain. "Alex, are you seeing this?" she called across the cramped bridge of the Remembrance. Commander Alex Petrov's fingers danced across the holographic display, his augmented eyes processing data streams faster than any organic human could. "Confirmed. It's coming from Sector 7 Gamma. That's Morrison's last known coordinates." Lisa's breath caught. John Morrison, the name that had become legend, myth, and warning all at once. 15 years ago, the Galactic Council had ordered his execution for crimes against cosmic law. 15 years ago, humanity had learned exactly what it meant to provoke something they didn't understand. "It has to be automated," Lisa said, though her voice wavered. "Morrison's been dead for—" "Officially dead," Alex corrected. He'd been Morrison's student once before everything fell apart, before the Council's judgment. But we never found a body. The Remembrance was humanity's most advanced deep space research vessel, equipped with a Higgs field manipulator that could bend local spacetime enough to achieve effective faster-than-light travel. It was also one of the few human ships permitted beyond the Sol system's boundaries after the Treaty of Titan, the agreement that had saved Earth from orbital bombardment but had reduced humanity to a quarantined species. "Plot a course," Lisa ordered. "If there's even a chance Morrison left something behind, we need to know." The journey to Sector 7 Gamma took 6 hours of hard acceleration followed by a carefully calculated Higgs jump. When they emerged from compressed spacetime, Lisa's implant immediately registered something wrong. The local space was scarred. Quantum fluctuations that shouldn't exist, mathematical impossibilities made manifest. "My God," Alex whispered, "he actually did it." Floating in the void before them was a structure that defied conventional physics. It appeared as a Klein bottle rendered in 4 spatial dimensions, its surface simultaneously inside and outside, folding through itself in ways that made Lisa's enhanced visual cortex struggle to process. Energy readings were off the scale. "That's not a weapon," Lisa said, her scientific mind racing. "It's a message." The beacon intensified, and suddenly their ship systems came alive with data. Not an attack, an upload. Information flooded their computers, terabytes of compressed quantum data unpacking itself with elegant precision. Alex's face went pale as he read. "It's Morrison's research, all of it, the complete unified field equations, the proof that the Council's understanding of physics was incomplete." Lisa pulled up the files, her hands trembling. John Morrison had been Earth's most brilliant physicist, the man who'd cracked the mathematics behind stable wormholes and negative energy generation. When he'd presented his findings to the Galactic Council, they'd called it heresy. The Council's civilization, spanning 3,000 years and hundreds of star systems, had built their entire technological and philosophical framework on a different set of physical laws. Morrison's equations didn't just challenge their science, they invalidated it. "They killed him because he was right," Lisa breathed. "Because if his physics were correct, then their entire civilization was built on a fundamental misunderstanding of reality." "Not just built on it," Alex said, pulling up more files. "Dependent on it. Look at this. The Council's faster-than-light drives, their zero-point energy extractors, their planetary shields, they all work, but they work wrong. They're exploiting what Morrison called quantum loopholes, temporary violations of causality that only persist because the universe hasn't collapsed the probability wave yet." Lisa felt cold realization wash over her. And if someone demonstrated the correct physics? The loopholes collapse, their technology fails, their empire falls. Alex turned to her, his augmented eyes wide with understanding. That's why they ordered his death, not because he was wrong, because he was right. The data continued to unfold. Morrison hadn't just left his research, he'd left a chronicle of his last days. The Council's ultimatum, his refusal to recant, the assassination squad sent to Earth, and then his final act. He uploaded himself, Lisa whispered, reading the logs. Before they killed his body, he digitized his consciousness and embedded it in a quantum computational substrate. That structure out there, it's not just a message, it's him. As if in response, the Klein bottle structure pulsed with light. A holographic projection materialized on the Remembrance's bridge, a tall man in his 50s, with gray-streaked hair and tired but determined eyes. "Hello," John Morrison said. "If you're receiving this, then enough time has passed for humanity to develop the technology to find me. I'm sorry I couldn't deliver this message in person, but the Council's assassins were efficient." Alex stood rigid, tears streaming down his face. "Professor." The hologram continued, a pre-recorded message responding to variables Morrison had anticipated. "I've been waiting here, in quantum superposition, for this moment. The data I've transmitted contains everything you need, not just the correct physical laws, but the proof that the Council's technology is living on borrowed time. Within a standard century, maybe less, the accumulated causality violations will cascade. Their civilization will experience what I call a probability collapse. Everything stops working, all at once." Lisa's mind raced through the implications. They must know. Their scientists must have detected the instability. "They do," Morrison's image confirmed. "I intercepted their classified communications before my death. The Council's inner circle has known for 2 centuries that their society is doomed. That's why they've been so desperate to suppress alternative physics. They're not trying to protect scientific orthodoxy, they're trying to prevent panic." The hologram stepped closer, and for a moment Lisa could almost believe he was really there. "But there's hope. The equations I've given you allow for stable technology, real faster-than-light travel, true zero-point energy. If humanity shares this knowledge, offers it freely to the Council's constituent species, you could save trillions of lives. And become the most powerful species in the galaxy overnight," Alex added quietly. "Perhaps," Morrison acknowledged, "but I didn't do this for power. I did it because the truth matters, because those trillions of beings deserve to know that their civilization is built on a foundation that's crumbling. You have to decide what to do with this knowledge. I can't make that choice for you. My time is limited." The hologram flickered. "The quantum substrate that houses my consciousness is degrading. I've existed in superposition for 15 years, but the decoherence is accelerating. I have at most a few days remaining, but I had to survive long enough to pass this on, to give humanity, to give the galaxy, a choice." Lisa looked at Alex, saw the same struggle in his eyes that she felt in her heart. If they released this information, they'd be responsible for the collapse of galactic civilization. If they didn't, they'd be condemning trillions to die when the cascade finally came. "There's a third option," Alex said slowly. "We give them the truth and the solution. We share Morrison's equations freely, help them transition to stable technology before the collapse." Morrison's image smiled, a sad, proud expression. "I was hoping you'd say that. The complete technical specifications are in the data package. You have everything you need." The hologram began to fade. "Tell them," Morrison said, his voice growing distant. "Tell the Council that humanity doesn't seek revenge for my death. We seek partnership. We seek to save what can be saved. And tell them that ordering my execution was the best thing they could have done, because it proved that even death can't stop the truth." The image vanished. The Klein bottle structure outside began to collapse in on itself, the quantum substrate finally succumbing to entropy. John Morrison, or the pattern of information that had been John Morrison, winked out of existence, his final message delivered. Lisa activated the Remembrance's long-range quantum communicator. "Sending encrypted transmission to Earth Command. Authorization, Chen Alpha 7. Message reads, Morrison protocol is active. Recommend immediate diplomatic mission to Galactic Council. We're coming home with a gift they can't refuse. As the ship turned toward home, Alex placed a hand on Lisa's shoulder. He was right, you know. They regretted killing him the moment they realized it wouldn't stop his ideas from spreading. Lisa nodded, watching the last wisps of Morrison's quantum tomb dissipate into space. The truth always finds a way. They should have known that. Any sufficiently advanced species should know that you can't kill an idea whose time has come. The remembrance engaged its Higgs drive, folding space around itself. Behind them, in Sector 7 Gamma, a region of scarred spacetime remained, a monument to the man who'd been right and the civilization that had tried to silence him. The galaxy would never be the same.